I'm 20 years older, I protested as she tore away the distance between us. The rain-slick streets of Brooklyn hummed under the relentless patter of a late autumn downpour, tires hissing like whispered secrets on wet asphalt. Elena Ramirez gripped the steering wheel of her old Volvo, knuckles whitening as the wipers slashed back the blur. 45 years old, tenured professor at NYU, divorced once and widowed young, life had carved her into something sturdy, like the oak bookshelves lining her cramped office. But tonight that sturdiness cracked. Her phone buzzed on the passenger seat, the screen lighting up with Mia's name. 25. Vibrant. Unscarred. An MFA student in graphic novels. All wild energy and ink-stained dreams. The girl who'd slipped into Elena's seminar 6 months ago like a rogue brushstroke on a blank canvas. She shouldn't have answered the first text. Meet me. Now. I can't wait anymore. But Elena had, because denial was a luxury she'd lost somewhere between grading papers and pouring wine alone. Now, pulling up to the curb outside Mia's walk-up in Williamsburg, Elena's heart thudded like bass from the dive bar across the street. The door swung open before she could kill the engine. There was Mia, silhouetted against the warm glow spilling from her apartment, rain dripping from the eaves onto her bare shoulders. She wore a oversized flannel shirt, unbuttoned just enough to tease the lace edge of a bra beneath, her dark curls frizzing in the humidity. "You came," Mia said, voice low and laced with that triumphant edge like she'd known all along. Elena stepped out, umbrella forgotten in the car, letting the rain soak through her wool coat. It clung cold to her skin, a sharp contrast to the heat rising in her chest. "This is insane, Mia. You're my student. I'm your god, I'm 20 years older." The words tumbled out, protest sharp as shattered glass, but Mia was already closing the distance, boots splashing in shallow puddles. Her hand found Elena's wrist, thumb pressing into the pulse point, feeling it race. Up close, Mia smelled like turpentine and vanilla. Artist studio mixed with the candle she burned for late-night sketches. "Age is a line on a page," Mia murmured, eyes locking on Elena's, dark and unyielding as midnight ink. "You draw it. I erase it." Inside, the apartment was a chaos of half-finished canvases and scattered sketchbooks, the air thick with the earthy tang of charcoal dust and cooling takeout lo mein. Mia flicked on a single lamp, its amber light casting long shadows that danced like hesitant lovers. Elena shrugged off her coat, fingers fumbling, hyper-aware of the way her blouse stuck damp to her collarbone. She should leave. Pack up the lectures on Austen and forbidden desires, bolt the door on this reckless pull. But Mia was pouring 2 glasses of red from a half-empty bottle on the cluttered coffee table, the glug-glug echoing too loud in the sudden quiet. "Sit," Mia said, not a command but an invitation wrapped in steel. Elena sank onto the sagging couch, the springs creaking under her like a sigh she couldn't suppress. They talked, or Mia talked, words spilling like rain off a roof, about her latest graphic novel, a tale of ghosts haunting their own regrets, panels bleeding color into shadow. Elena listened, nodding, but her mind snagged on the details. The way Mia's laugh bubbled low in her throat, the faint scar on her knuckle from a dropped X-Acto blade, the accidental brush of knee against thigh that sent sparks skittering up Elena's spine. "You're brilliant, you know that?" Elena said finally, voice rough like she'd swallowed gravel. Mia's smile faltered, turning soft, searching. She set her glass down, the clink sharp as a heartbeat. "And you're terrified." "Not a question." Mia leaned in, close enough that Elena could feel the warmth radiating off her skin, the faint hitch in her breath. "I'm 20 years older," Elena protested again, but it came out weaker, a whisper fraying at the edges. Her hand lifted, unbidden, to trace the line of Mia's jaw, smooth, defiant, alive with the promise of stories yet unwritten. Mia didn't pull away. Instead, she turned into the touch, lips parting on a soft exhale that ghosted Elena's palm. The room narrowed to that point of contact, the world outside fading to a distant roar of thunder. Mia's fingers threaded through Elena's hair, tugging gently, tilting her head back until their foreheads touched. "Then teach me," Mia breathed, voice trembling with the weight of it, eyes shimmering like wet ink. "Show me what 20 years feels like." Elena's resolve shattered like cheap crystal under a heel. She surged forward, lips crashing into Mia's with the hunger she'd buried under syllabi and solitude. The kiss was salt and storm. Rain on skin, wine on tongues, fierce and fumbling, hands mapping unfamiliar territories. Mia tasted like rebellion, bold and sweet, her nails digging crescents into Elena's shoulders as if anchoring a ship in choppy seas. They broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed, breaths mingling in ragged harmony. "This can't," Elena started, but Mia silenced her with a finger to her lips, then replaced it with another kiss, slower this time, exploratory. Tongues tracing apologies and admissions, bodies shifting closer until Mia straddled her lap, flannel falling open like an invitation. The couch groaned under them, a low protest echoed by Elena's own. She should stop. Think of the dean, the ethics board, the chasm of years yawning between them. But Mia's hands were everywhere, sliding under Elena's blouse, cool fingers igniting fire on fevered skin, and reason drowned in the rush. They moved like a scene from one of those late-night indie films Elena dissected in class. Urgent, unscripted, the camera lingering on the arch of a back, the flutter of eyelashes, the soft moan escaping as buttons gave way. Mia's shirt hit the floor with a whisper, revealing the taut plane of her stomach, the constellation of freckles across her ribs. Elena's mouth followed, lips brushing collarbone, eliciting a gasp that arched Mia's spine like a drawn bow. Outside, the rain intensified, drumming against the window panes like applause for their unraveling. Elena's world tilted, sense of damp wool and desire thickening the air, the faint metallic tang of Mia's lip ring catching on her tongue. They tumbled sideways, a tangle of limbs and laughter edged with nerves, sketchbooks scattering like fallen leaves. Mia's thigh pressed between Elena's, friction building slow and deliberate, drawing out whimpers Elena hadn't made since her 20s. "Elena," Mia whispered, "name a prayer against her neck. Let go. And God help her." She did, fingers delving into soft curls, hips rocking in rhythm to the storm's cadence, chasing release like a lifeline in the dark. When it crested, it was cataclysmic. Mia first, body shuddering, a cry muffled into Elena's shoulder, nails raking fire trails down her back. Elena followed seconds later, vision blurring white-hot, a sob tearing free as waves crashed and receded, leaving her adrift. They clung there, slick and spent, hearts pounding in syncopated duet. The rain eased to a drizzle, tapping Morse code on the glass, warning or lullaby Elena couldn't tell. Mia stirred first, propping on an elbow, tracing lazy patterns on Elena's chest. "Worth the protest?" she teased, voice husky, eyes gleaming with sated mischief. Elena laughed, a broken sound pulling her close. "Every damn second." But even as she said it, doubt slithered in, cold as the cooling sheets. This was just the beginning. The hook sunk deep, line taut, reel spinning wild into unknown waters. Morning light crept in like a thief, gray and unforgiving, painting the room in muted tones. Elena woke to the scent of brewing coffee, strong and bitter, cutting through the musk of last night. Mia was in the kitchenette, barefoot and humming some indie folk tune, stirring oats with a wooden spoon that clacked rhythmically against the pot. She looked younger in daylight, cheeks flushed, hair a glorious mess, untouched by the shadows Elena carried. "Hey, Professor," Mia said, turning with a grin that lit the space like sunrise. "Oatmeal? It's my non-student rebellion against your fancy espresso machine lectures." Elena sat up, sheet pooling at her waist, suddenly acutely aware of her body, the faint stretch marks from a life lived, the ache in muscles unused to such fervor. She pulled on her blouse, buttons misaligned, a map of haste. They ate cross-legged on the floor, backs against the couch, bowls steaming between them. Conversation flowed easy at first, books, art, the way Brooklyn's graffiti walls told stories the Met never could. But then Mia's foot nudged Elena's, deliberate, and the air shifted, charged again. "Last night," Mia started, spoon pausing midair, "wasn't a one-off sketch. I want the whole damn graphic novel." Elena's throat tightened, the oatmeal turning to ash on her tongue. She set the bowl down, the porcelain cool against her palm. "Mia, listen. You're 25. The world's your canvas, vibrant, endless. I'm the faded outline at the edge. This age thing, it's not just numbers. It's baggage. Ex-husbands, a kid in college who barely calls. Tenure tracks that lead to empty nests. Her voice cracked on the last, a fissure she couldn't patch. Mia's eyes darkened, not with anger but hurt, raw as an exposed nerve. She reached out, hand hovering before cupping Elena's cheek, thumb brushing a tear Elena hadn't realized was falling. Baggage? That's my favorite part. It makes the story real. You're not faded, you're etched deep, like the best inks. And I'm not some naive kid chasing a thrill. I've loved women before, lost them to safer choices. But you. From that first lecture on Wolf's Hidden Rooms I saw you. Not the professor. The woman who pauses at metaphors like they're lifelines. The words hung, heavy with sincerity, the spoon forgotten in the congealing oats. Elena leaned into the touch, eyelids fluttering shut, the simple pressure grounding her spinning world. But the hook twisted deeper when Mia's phone buzzed. A text from her advisor, a reminder of the upcoming critique where Elena's name loomed large as panelist. Reality crashed in, cold shower after fever dream. We can't hide this, Elena said, pulling back, voice steadying into lecture mode. The department. Ethics. One whisper and your degree's tainted. My career poof. Mia's jaw set, that artist fire flaring. Then we fight it. Or we go public. Screw the rules. They're for people afraid of color outside the lines. She stood, pacing, bare feet patting soft on the scarred hardwood. Energy crackling like static before lightning. Elena watched, mesmerized by the sway of hips, the defiant tilt of chin, but fear coiled tighter in her gut. A serpent whispering endings before beginnings. By noon the rain had cleared, leaving Brooklyn steaming under a reluctant sun. They walked out together, shoulders brushing, the city a blur of honking taxis and street vendors hawking halal carts that sizzled with cumin and grease. Mia linked arms with Elena, casual as old lovers, pointing out murals of fierce women warriors splashed across brick walls. See? Queens everywhere. We fit. Elena smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes, the weight of eyes, real or imagined, prickling her skin. At the subway entrance they paused, the rumble of approaching trains vibrating up through the grates like an undercurrent of doom. Dinner tonight? Mia asked, hopeful lips brushing Elena's ear in a promise. Elena nodded, throat too tight for words, watching as Mia descended the stairs, curls bouncing, vanishing into the maw of the city. Alone, Elena trudged back to her Volvo, the sun mocking her with its indifferent warmth. She slid into the leather seat, still carrying Mia's scent, vanilla and resolve, and buried her face in her hands. The hook was set, line singing taut, but the reel? Felt like it might snap her in two. Little did she know the real storm was just gathering, dark clouds rolling in from the Hudson, threatening to wash their fragile sketch away. Weeks blurred into a fevered montage. Stolen afternoons in Elena's office after hours, the door locked with a click that echoed like a heartbeat. Papers shuffled aside on the desk. Mia perched on the edge, legs swinging, pulling Elena between them with a grin that dared the world to intrude. Read to me, Mia would demand, voice husky, fingers toying with the hem of Elena's sensible skirt. Elena, ever the professor, would oblige. Snatches of Plath or Baldwin, words tumbling low and intimate, until Mia's hand silenced her, replacing pages with skin. The air in that room thickened with the scent of aged books and fresh desire. Leather chairs creaking under shifting weights, blinds drawn against the campus quad's prying eyes. But cracks spiderweb through the idol. Whispers started in the MFA lounge. Mia lingering too long after critiques, Elena's gaze softening when their eyes met across crowded receptions. What's with the prof crush? A classmate teased Mia over craft beers at the local dive, the jukebox crooning Springsteen in gravelly baritone. Mia laughed it off, but her grip tightened on the pint glass, condensation slick under her palm. Jealous? She shot back, but inside unease gnawed like a dull blade. Elena felt it too. The way her phone stayed silent during faculty meetings, the knot in her stomach when Dean's emails pinged about professional boundaries. Nights alone in her Park Slope row house, Elena paced the creaky floors, floorboards groaning like old bones, the silence broken only by the distant wail of the F train. One crisp November evening the hook yanked hard. Elena's daughter Sophia, 22, home from Oberlin for Thanksgiving, dropped by unannounced, arms laden with grocery bags rattling with cans of cranberry sauce and bottles of cheap Merlot. Mom! Surprise attack on your sad single routine. Sophia's laugh was bright, unburdened. Her pixie cut dyed electric blue. Nose ring glinting under the kitchen fluorescence. Elena froze mid-stir of risotto, wooden spoon hovering, the steam curling up like smoke signals of panic. Soft hey early bird catches the worm, huh? She forced a smile but her voice pitched high betraying the chaos. Sophia unpacked, chattering about classes, boys, the protest march she joined against campus frats. God, Mom, you look glowy. Dating again? Spill. Elena's laugh came out strangled, a cough disguised as mirth. She turned to the stove, flames hissing blue under the pan, the sizzle of onions masking her thudding pulse. Just work. Busy semester. But Sophia, sharp as her mother's lectures, paused, eyeing the rumpled throw blanket on the couch, the faint trace of vanilla air freshener that wasn't Elena's usual lavender. And this? She held up a stray sketch. Quick lines of a woman's profile, Elena's, captured in charcoal smudges. Heat flooded Elena's face, prickling like nettle. Student project. Borrowed for grading. Lie tasted bitter on her tongue, sharper than the garlic she chopped too fine. Knife thwacking the board in frantic rhythm. Sophia shrugged, but doubt lingered in her eyes, a shadow crossing her features like clouds over the East River. Dinner passed in fits. Forks scraping plates, wine glasses clinking in uneasy toasts, Sophia's stories filling the air but not the void. When she left, hugging Elena tight at the door, the embrace lingered, Sophia's whisper hot against her ear. Be happy, Mom. Whatever it looks like. The door clicked shut and Elena slid down it, back to the wood, knees to chest, a sob ripping free raw, echoing in the empty hall. Happy. The word mocked her, tangled in the line pulling her toward Mia. Toward ruin or revelation. That night Elena texted Mia. Can't tonight. Family stuff. Mia's reply buzzed instant. Everything okay? Miss your voice. Elena stared at the screen, thumb hovering, the blue light casting hollows under her eyes. Just tired. Talk tomorrow. She powered off, tossing the phone onto the bed like a live wire, burrowing under covers that smelled of starch and solitude. Sleep came fitful, dreams a jumble of lecture halls turning to courtrooms, judges with Sophia's face hammering gavels that sounded like breaking hearts. Morning brought no mercy. Elena arrived at campus early, coffee scalding her tongue in the faculty lounge, the bitter burn a penance. Students milled outside her door, backpacks slung low, laughter bubbling like soda fizz. Mia was last, slipping in with a wink that twisted Elena's gut. Class dragged, discussing desire in Orlando Wolf's gender-shifting muse, but every glance at Mia felt like a spotlight, hot and exposing. Desire defies convention, Elena lectured, voice steady by will alone, chalk dust powdering her fingers white as ghosts. Mia's pen scratched furious notes, but her foot tapped under the desk, a Morse code of impatience. After, as the room emptied, Mia lingered, stacking books slow, eyes on Elena like a challenge. Family stuff? She asked, casual but edged, door clicking shut behind the last straggler. Elena leaned against the desk, arms crossed, the wood cool through her sleeves. Sophia's home. Saw something. Your sketch. Mia's face fell, then hardened, stepping close enough that Elena could smell the mint on her breath from gum chewed through nerves. And defiance, but her hand trembled reaching for Elena's. She knows. Elena shook her head, but the lie hung heavy. Not yet. But it's coming, Mia. It's a fuse. One spark and boom. Mia's laugh was sharp without humor, echoing off the bookshelves like a slap. Boom? Or breakthrough? You're the one who taught us stories aren't safe. They're messy alive. She cupped Elena's face, fierce, thumb stroking jawline with a tenderness that undid her. Fight with me. Not against. Their kiss was desperate, mouths clashing in the quiet room, hands fisting fabric as if to anchor against the tide. Elena broke it first, gasping, forehead to Mia's. I want to. God, I do. But the cost. Mia pulled back, eyes blazing. Cost of what? Hiding. That's dying slow. She grabbed her bag, slinging it over shoulder. The zippers rasped like tearing fabric. Call me when you're done protesting, shadows. The door slammed, vibration rattling the window panes, and Elena sank into her chair. Head in hands, the scent of Mia's shampoo lingering like a ghost. Afternoon blurred. Office hours where students' voices droned distant, emails piling like unanswered prayers. By dusk, the campus glowed under sodium lamps, paths slick with fallen leaves crunching underfoot. Elena drove home through traffic that crawled like regret, radio murmuring NPR stories of lost loves and found selves. At her door, a package waited, brown paper, Mia's scrawl, for the shadows. Inside, a bound sketchbook, pages alive with their story. Elena's profile in rain, Mia's hand in hers under desk, bodies entwined in charcoal haze. Last page, words inked bold. Tear the distance. Or let it tear you. Tears blurred the lines as Elena traced them, paper soft under fingertips, the weight of it crushing and freeing. She dialed Mia, phone to ear, heart hammering. I'm in, she whispered when the line connected, voice breaking on the edge of dawn. Mia's exhale was a sob laugh, relief flooding through. Good. Because I'm already tearing. They met at the bridge that night, Manhattan skyline glittering like a promise, wind whipping coats around them. Arms wrapped tight, city lights reflecting in eyes wet with unshed fears. The hook pulled them closer, line humming with tension, but for the first time, Elena didn't fight the real. Winter crept in on frost-laced breaths, holidays looming like uninvited guests. Sophia stayed through break, filling the house with chaos. Spotify playlists blasting indie rock, kitchen experiments that smoked the detectors into shrill alarm. Elena played hostess, smiling through gritted teeth, but Mia's texts burned holes in her pocket. Sneak out? Miss your sigh. Temptation gnawed, sharp as hunger. One night, snow falling soft outside, Sophia crashed early, jet-lagged from a red-eye. Elena slipped into the study, door ajar, dialing Mia on video. The screen flickered to life. Mia in her studio, paint-splattered overalls, smile blooming like a struck match. Hey, beautiful. They talked low, voices hushed. Mia's laugh a bomb against the fire crackle in the hearth. But Sophia stirred, patting down the hall in socks, whispering on wood. Mom! Elena fumbled the phone, screen blacking just as Sophia peeked in. Who are you talking to? Casual but eyes sharp. Elena's pulse thundered, mouth dry as dust. Old colleague. Grant stuff. Sophia nodded but lingered, arms crossed. You seem different. Lighter. It's nice. She hugged Elena goodnight, squeezed tight and retreated. Elena exhaled, shaky, reopening the call to Mia's worried face. Close call. Mia's nod was grim. We need a plan. Not this hiding. The words settled heavy, snow piling silent outside, blanketing the world in white lies. New Year's Eve dawned brittle cold, air crisp with promise and peril. Elena hosted a small gathering, colleagues in tweed, wine flowing red as confessions. Mia arrived fashionably late, fashionably platonic, in a thrifted velvet dress that hugged curves like a lover's gaze. Professor, she greeted, handshake formal, but fingers lingering, electric. Through toasts and small talk, their eyes met across the room. Sparks in the dim, the clink of glasses masking stolen smiles. Midnight struck, Auld Lang Syne warbling from the speakers, and the crowd surged in cheers. Mia found her in the crush, bodies pressing close under pretense of hug. Happy New! Mia breathed, lips brushing ear, sending shivers down Elena's spine. They slipped away to the balcony, city fireworks blooming overhead in bursts of gold and crimson, reflections dancing on the Hudson. Cold rail under palms, breaths fogging the air. This year, Mia said, turning Elena to face her, hands framing face. No more distance. Kiss under exploding sky, urgent and affirming, tongues tangling with champagne tang. Snowflakes melting on lashes. Below, the party thrummed oblivious, but up here worlds collided. Age lines blurring in the flare of light. Elena pulled back, eyes searching Mia's. How? The department. Mia's grin was fierce. We tell them. Together. Fear and fire warred in Elena's chest, but the hook held fast, reeling her into the unknown. January thawed into a slippery mess, slush sucking at boots on subway stairs, the city groaning under gray skies that mirrored Elena's mood. The decision hung like a guillotine, tell or sever, but momentum built, inexorable as rush-hour crowds. Mia thrived on it, sketching feverishly, panels of their saga taking shape. Shadowed figures bridging chasms, colors bleeding defiant. Our origin story, she'd say, charcoal fingers smudging Elena's cheek in impromptu studio sessions, the loft's exposed brick warm against bare backs. Elena, cautious, mapped contingencies. Emails drafted to HR, rehearsed lines for the chair. But nights tangled in Mia's sheets, bodies slick with sweat and sighs. Doubts dissolved in the arch of hips, the gasp of release that echoed off tin ceilings. The axe fell mid-month in the dean's oak-paneled office, air heavy with the scent of polished mahogany and stale coffee. Elena sat ramrod straight, hands folded in lap, knuckles bone-white. Mia beside her, leg bouncing under the table, a live wire and tailored slacks. Dean Hargrove, silver-haired and spectacled, steepled fingers over the blotter. This is irregular. His voice was measured like dissecting a frog in bio-lab, but eyes flicked between them, curiosity laced with calculation. Elena cleared throat, words prepared but sticking. We've fallen in love. It's real. We won't hide it. Mia chimed in, voice steady. I'll transfer advisors. No conflict. Silence stretched, clock ticking loud as a pulse, the radiator hissing steam like suppressed outrage. Hargrove leaned back, chair creaking, exhaling slow. Love. Admirable. But policy. He trailed, gaze softening fractionally. Disclose fully. Probationary review in 6 months. And Mia. Complete your thesis elsewhere. Relief crashed, dizzying, Mia's hand finding Elena's under the table, squeeze fierce. They left arm in arm, corridor echoing their steps, bursting into winter air that bit cheeks rosy. We did it, Mia hooped, spinning Elena under a bare oak, laughter bubbling free. Elena clung, dizzy with it, the city's pulse sinking to theirs. Horns blaring approval, pigeons scattering like confetti. News rippled campus-wide. A stone skipped into still pond. Whispers in halls, raised eyebrows at lectures, but support swelled unexpected. A queer faculty ally emailing solidarity, students chalking rainbows on Mia's locker. Yet barbs stung. Mia's ex-roommate cornering her in the print lab, voice venomous. Cradle robber much? She's using you for inspo. Mia brushed it off, but doubt seeded, sprouting in quiet moments. Elena felt it too, Sophia's weekly calls turning probing. Mom, this artist? How'd you meet? Elena hedged, heart squeezing, the lie a thorn under skin. Valentines ambushed them, commercial fluff turned sacred. Mia planned a rooftop picnic in the village, blankets spread under string lights, skyline twinkling like strewn diamonds, thermos of mulled wine steaming, heart-shaped charcuterie biting tart with brie and figure. For the woman who makes 45 feel 25, Mia toasted, eyes soft over rim. Elena laughed, warmth blooming chest deep. But as snow flurried gentle, vulnerability cracked open. Do you ever regret the gap? My knees creak, Mia. I forget names at parties. Mia set glass down, clink soft, crawling close on elbows. Regret? You're my plot twist, the kind that saves the story. Kiss slow, deliberate, wine sweet, hands wandering under layers, city hum fading to their rhythm. But the real snagged hard that spring, when Mia's thesis defense loomed, panels of their veiled romance scrutinized under fluorescent glare. Elena watched from the back row, anonymous in crowd, pride swelling fierce as Mia presented. Voice passionate, slides vivid with layered inks. Applause thundered, but afterward in the green room, a visiting critic cornered Mia. Derivative. Echoes your advisor's influence too closely. Doubt's thorn twisted. Mia's smile brittle as she recounted over late-night ramen, steam curling between them. Am I just your muse? Or more? Elena pulled her close, soup bowls shoved aside, foreheads touching. More. Always. Lovemaking followed, urgent on the futon, bodies affirming what words fumbled. Nails grazing ribs, moans mingling with the freight train's distant wail. Sophia's visit sealed the fracture. Arriving for parents' weekend, blue hair faded to teal. She hugged Elena stiff, eyes scanning the apartment for clues. Mia was there, casual in jeans and tee, offering coffee with a grin. Sophia, right? Elena's stories don't do you justice. Charm offensive, but Sophia's gaze sharpened, piecing it. Over brunch at a corner bistro. Eggs Benedict runny, mimosas fizzing, tension simmered. So Mia, Sophia said, fork spearing sausage, how'd you two connect? Mia glanced Elena, who nodded micro. Seminar. She saw through my bullshit sketches. Laughter, but Sophia's eyes narrowed. And the age thing? Mom's always been the fixer-upper type. Post-brunch walk along the promenade. Cherry blossoms shedding pink petals like confetti regrets. Sophia pulled Elena aside. She's half your age, Mom. What happens when she wants kids? Parties till dawn? You're settling into book clubs and early beds. Words landed like slaps, wind whipping them sharp. Elena recoiled, arms crossing tight. It's not settling. It's alive. For the first time in years. Sophia's face crumpled, hug fierce. Just don't get hurt. You deserve the fairy tale, not the footnote. She left that evening, train swallowing her. Elena waving from the platform vibrating underfoot like her fracturing resolve. Doubt festered, nights where Elena lay awake. Mia snores soft beside, staring at ceiling cracks like fault lines. Am I holding you back? She whispered one dawn, light slanting gold across pillows. Mia stirred, curls tousled, hand finding Elena's in dark. Back? You're the wind. But the seed took root, Mia's laugh seeming younger. Elena's reflections grayer in the bathroom mirror. Lines etched deeper. Climax brewed at the MFA showcase. Gallery buzzing with wine-sipping elites. Air thick with varnish and veiled judgments. Mia's installation dominated. A mural of fractured panels, their story woven subtle. Older figure reaching tentative, younger bridging bold. Colors clashing then harmonizing. Elena hovered edges, proud but peripheral. Until a collector approached Mia. Arms slinging casual. Brilliant work. Ever thought LA? Sundance types love this queer edge. Mia's eyes lit, then dimmed glancing Elena. Maybe. But roots here. Later in the coat room, shadows cloaking, Elena's voice cracked. Go. If it calls. Mia whirled, coat half on, eyes flashing. Calls? You're my call. Stop pushing. Argument erupted. Hushed hisses, words like daggers. I'm dimming you. You're scared. Door slammed. Mia storming into night. Heels clicking furious on pavement. Elena wandered home alone. Rain starting fine then furious, soaking through to bone. Apartment empty, echoey, she curled on couch. Sketchbook open to their page. Tears blurring lines. Phone silent, hours ticking like accusations. Dawn broke, coffee cold when Mia returned. Hair plastered, eyes red-rimmed. I can't without you. Collapse into arms, sobs racking. Forgiveness in touches tentative then tender. We're the story, Mia murmured, lips on pulse. End it how we want. Summer scorched in, humidity clinging like second skin. Air conditioners droning hymns to escape. With thesis defended and semester archived, freedom unfurled. Road trip plotted, Route 66 reimagined queer and unhurried. They packed light. Mia's sketchpad bulging. Elena's audiobooks queued on forbidden flings in literature. First stop, Chicago's lakeside lofts. Wind whipping off Michigan in gusts that tangled curls and scarves. Hotel room overlooked the water. Waves lapping rhythmic below. Mirroring their nights. Slow explorations under ceiling fans whirring lazy. Bodies glistening. Sighs sinking to the city's nocturnal pulse. Mia's art bloomed, commissions trickling from the showcase. Zine covers for queer collectives, murals for pride parades. Elena guest lectured at a workshop upstate. Voice steady on narratives of age and desire. Students nodding rapt, one bold enough to ask, You writing from experience? Laughter rippled, Elena's glance to Mia in the front row. Conspiratorial wink. But undercurrents stirred, Sophia's emails terse. Proud but worried. Attachments of grad school apps that screamed future timelines Elena couldn't match. Mia brushed it, but Elena saw the flicker. Gallery invites from coasts, whispers of next big thing. They pushed west, desert swallowing the highway, cacti sentinel under relentless sun. Grand Canyon rim. Elena gripped the rail. Vertigo not from heights but the chasm mirroring their gap. Vast, unbridgeable? Mia sensed, hand slipping into hers, warm and sure. Look down, she said, breath hot on neck. Not the drop. The layers. That's a sediment of years building something eternal. Sketch followed. Mia crouched on red rock, pencils flying. Elena's profile etched against the gorge, fierce and timeless. That night, canyon shadows long, they made love on a blanket under stars pricking black velvet. Sand gritting skin. Moans carried on coyote howls. Release shattering like meteor trails. Vegas glittered detour. Neon assaulting senses. Slot machines chiming greedy. Fountains dancing to Celine's warble. They gambled small, laughter bubbling over blackjack tables. Mia's luck hot, Elena's cautious bets mirroring life choices. Hotel suite comped, jacuzzi bubbling steam. They soaked with champagne flutes clinking, bubbles popping like epiphanies. Marry me? Mia asked sudden. Ringless but eyes ringed with intent, water lapping at breasts. Elena choked on fizz, heart seizing. What? Mia grinned, vulnerable under bravado. Not legal yet everywhere, but commitment. Rings optional. Elena pulled her close, water sloshing. Kiss sealing yes in salt and suds. But dawn brought hangover haze, doubt creeping. Forever for Mia meant evolution. For Elena, stasis? Southwest trails wound them to Santa Fe. Adobe walls baking terracotta. Galleries humming with turquoise and silver. Mia networked effortless, voice pitching passion to curators, Elena trailing pride laced with pang. The girl outgrowing her shadow. One evening, adobe-walled courtyard, mariachi strumming low. Mia confessed over margaritas tart with lime. LA called. Solo show. Month away. Elena's glass paused midair. Salt-stinging lip bite. Go. Shine. But voice cracked. Fork scraping plate loud in the quiet. Mia's hand covered hers, squeeze urgent. With you? Or without? Question hung, fireflies winking answers in dusk. They drove on, tension coiling tighter than the mountain passes. Radio scanning static ghosts of oldies crooning lost loves. Pacific crashed welcome at Big Sur. Cliff sheer and sea foaming white rage below. Cliffside cabin, waves thundering lullaby, they hiked trails scented pine and salt. Hands linked. Silences companionable then charged. One fog-shrouded morn beachcombing, Mia found a heart-shaped stone, smooth as promise, pressing it into Elena's palm. For the gaps. But gaps widened, news pinged. Mia's LA offer sweetened, Sophia announcing law school engagement. Timelines colliding like tectonic plates. Back east, autumn leaves blaze funeral pyre. Semester restarting with a vengeance. Elena's classes swelled. Discussions on identity fracturing under scrutiny, her own mirrored in margins. Mia deferred LA, but emails piled, temptations typed in Times New Roman. Nights they argued soft. Kitchen tables scarred with knife marks, wine staining coasters like blood O's. You're clipping wings, Mia accused one storm-lashed evening, thunder rumbling punctuation. Elena fired back, voice rising over rain lash. Wings for one leave the other grounded. Words wounded, doors slammed, makeup sex ferocious. Nails raking, hips bruising, climaxes chased like apologies unspoken. Sophia's wedding loomed, invitation crisp in Elena's mailbox, gold-embossed ache. +1? The card queried, Elena's hand trembling reply. Mia read it over shoulder, jaw tight. I'll be your date. Show him. But rehearsal dinner, upstate and draped in ivy, family eyes dissected. Aunts whispering trophy? Uncles gruff with silence. Sophia pulled Elena aside, garden paths crunching gravel. Happy for you, Mom. Really. But she's young. When she leaves, Elena cut in fierce. She won't. But seeds sprouted thorns, doubts garden overgrown. Climax crested at the ceremony. Autumn sun slanting gold through chapel-stained glass. Vows echoing pure as bells. Mia sat rigid beside, hand clammy in Elena's, smile strained through toasts. Reception tent glowed lantern-lit, band swinging jazz standards, couples twirling carefree. Mia danced with Sophia first, laughter genuine, Elena watching from bar, scotch burning neat. Then Mia extended hand. Our turn. Waltz slow, bodies close, whispers weaving. Forever. Trying. But as song faded, a producer cornered Mia. Elena again. Irresistible opportunity. Eyes met Elena's across floor, plea and push warring. Night drive home. Highway black ribbon under headlights. Silence thick as fog. Take it, Elena said finally, voice steady lie. Mia's head snapped, tears glinting. Without you. Visit. We'll manage. But words hollow, real frang. Apartment reached, bags unpacked in quiet ritual. Bed cold despite bodies curled. Dawn found Elena packing Mia's portfolio. Fingers lingering on sketches, theirs frayed at edges. Winter's grip tightened, holidays a gauntlet of forced cheer. Eggnog spiked bitter, carols mocking merriment. Mia left for LA in January, airport farewell a gut punch. Hug crushing, kiss salt stung, Elena's call every day. A mantra against the roar of jets. Solo, Elena's world contracted. Lectures rote, wine solitary, bed vast and echoing. Texts bridged chasms. Mia's gallery buzzing. Miss your laugh. Elena's proud. Ache without you. But distance stretched, pixels flattening passion. Silences lengthening like shadows at dusk. Mia's show debuted to acclaim. Reviews pinging Elena's inbox. Raw, revolutionary. Chen's gaze pierces generational veils. Pride swelled but envy nipped. Photos of Mia schmoozing starlets. Arms slung casual, youth's magnet pull. Sophia visited. Wedding glow faded to pragmatic, sensing Elena's fracture. Fight for it, Mom. Or let go. Advice sharp as splinter. Elena nodding numb over tea, steaming chamomile calm. February's chill deepened, Valentine's card arriving airmailed. Mia's script looping hearts. Distance temporary. Love etched permanent. Elena clutched it, tracing ink but doubt serpent coiled. Calls dropped to weekly, Mia's voice tinny with exhaustion. Deadlines killing me. Elena filled voids with work. New course on queer canon. Students hungry for stories unbroken. One night, guest speaker. A trans author on reinvention. Words landed like lifelines. Love isn't possession. It's witness. Elena texted Mia post-lecture, thinking of us. Witness enough? Reply delayed. Always. Busy week. Spring teased green shoots but Elena's withered. Weight loss hollowing cheeks. Sleep fractured by dreams of empty canvases. Sophia intervened, dragging her to yoga in the park. Downward dogs under budding maples. Breath sinking to birdsong. You're fading, Sophia said post-class, mats rolled, sweat cooling sticky. Call her. Demand. Elena did, voicemail beeping after rings. Mia, I need you. Not the idea. You. Days passed, radio silence, then ping, sorry. Chaos. Love you. Knife twist, shallow but sure. Mia's return flight booked for May, show wrap triumphant. Airport pickup, Elena's heart raced Volvo dash, palms slick on wheel. Mia emerged baggage claim, curls sun-bleached, tan glowing, duffel slung easy. Hug airport crush, scent of ocean and oil paint flooding Elena's senses. Missed this, Mia murmured, nose and hair. Drive home chatterbright. Mia's anecdotes, laughs bubbling. But undercurrent hummed unspoken. Reunion ignited. Door barely shut. Bags dropped haphazard, mouths meeting hungry. Kitchen counter cool under Elena's back. Mia's hands everywhere. Fingers deft as brushes, eliciting gasps that fogged windows. Never again, Mia panted, bodies joining frantic. Rhythm reclaiming lost time. Climaxes crashing duel as waves on shore. After tangled on rug. Rug burn itching thighs, reality seeped. LA wants more, Mia confessed, tracing Elena's collarbone. Residency. 6 months. Elena stiffened, afterglow curdling. And us. Mia's sigh heavy, chest rising falling. Visiting. Or. You come. Temptation ward. NYU tenure anchor. But Mia's world vibrant, pulling. Elena demurred. Think on it. Days blurred domestic. Breakfasts with Mia's pancakes fluffy, syrup sticky. Evening sketching side by side. Elena's tentative lines beside Mia's bold strokes. But fissures cracked, arguments over schedules, Mia's phone buzzing late with coast calls, Elena's silences deepening. One stormy eve, thunder grumbling, Mia snapped. "You're half out already." Elena retorted, rain lashing pains. "You're flying free, don't blame me for roots." Rift widened, Mia crashing at a friend's text terse, space. Elena wandered campus ghost, students' faces blurring. Office a tomb of stacked journals. Sophia called voice steel. "Fix or fold, Mom." Fold tempted, solitude known safe. But hook tugged, line frayed but unbroken. Elena drove to Mia's studio unannounced. Door ajar, light spilling gold. Inside, Mia hunched over canvas, back bowed, paint splattered like wounds. "Go," Mia muttered, brush stabbing. Elena crossed threshold, voice soft. "Can't. You're my color." Mia turned, eyes red, collapse into arms, sobs wrenching. "Scared you'll tire of gray." Elena cupped face, thumbs wiping tears. "Gray's my depth. Your fire lights it." Reconciliation raw. Studio floor hard under knees, kisses tasting salt and turpentine, hands relearning maps. Gentle now, exploratory, building slow to crescendo that left them shattered, remade. "Together," Mia whispered, post tremor, fingers laced. "Wherever." Elena nodded, vow sealed in sweat-slick skin. Summer hummed reconciliation, plans woven tentative. Elena sabbatical approved. NYU bending for love's logic. They sublet Mia's loft. Road tripping east to Maine. Lobster shacks redolent garlic butter. Waves crashing rocky shores. Cabin nights, fire crackling, birch logs, stories shared. Elena's widowhood ache. Mia's coming out scars. "We're scarred beautiful," Mia said. Embers glowing faces, hands linked across quilts. But fall loomed. LA's siren call persistent. Mia wavered, offers stacking like poker chips. One video call, producer's face earnest. "Your star material, Chun. Bring your muse." Mia's glance, Elena's, conflicted. Post call, beach walk, sand gritty between toes, Elena broached. "Go. I'll join weekends." Mia halted, sea spray misting, eyes fierce. "Half-life? No. All or none." Standoff, wave-sucking pebbles, tension crackling, ozone sharp. Decision crystallized, crisis night, power outage plunging city black. Candles guttering, wax tears. "Choose," Elena urged, flame-lit shadows dancing walls. Mia paced, silhouette restless. "You. Always." But voice cracked, phone clutched. Final no to a relief flooded, but Elena saw cost. Dimmed spark in Mia's eyes, dreams deferred. Fracture mended, fragile. Autumn deepening to winter's prelude. Sophia's visit healed rifts. Dinner triple, laughter genuine over pasta al dente. Mia charming tales of failed murals. "Family," Sophia toasted, glasses chiming crystal. Elena teared. Hand under table in Mia's, anchor found. Yet undercurrent persisted. Mia's sketches turning introspective. Figures reaching, gaps widening. One eve, gallery opening, crowd swirling, perfume and murmurs. Mia's new series unveiled. Bridges burned. Panels of loves lost to compromise. Raw as open veins. Elena viewed, gut-twisting, central piece, two women on precipice, one tethered, one winged. "Truth," Mia said later, car humming homeward. "Can't clip forever." December blanketed doubt in snowdrifts. Holidays a test of tinsel strength. Elena's family gathering, Sophia's in-laws probing polite. Aunts cooing over Mia's exotic art. Left bruises invisible. Mia shone, anecdotes sparkling, but Elena caught the strain. Forced smiles, glances to exits. New Year's rooftop bash, fireworks scarring sky. Mia pulled Elena to edge. "This cage. It's killing us slow." Words iced Elena's veins, champagne turning flat. "Cage? I thought bridge." Mia's eyes reflected pyrotechnics, weary. "Bridges need both walking." January's thaw mirrored melt. Conversations circling drains. Mia's portfolio rebound for LA. This time resolute. "Not leaving you," she clarified over diner coffee. Mug steaming bitter. "Leaving limits." Elena nodded numb. Fork pushing, eggs congealed. "Sabbatical starts February. I'll follow." But promise rang hollow, logistics snarling. NYU strings, finances fraying, fears unspoken. Mia's departure, airport redux, but reversed, Elena waving, duffel her own, heart leaden. LA welcomed humid, palm shadows long. Apartment leased overlooking smog-veiled hills. Mia's studio vibrant, easels crowded, but Elena's days dragged. Adjunct gigs uninspiring. Nights alone scrolling Mia's feeds. Likes from admirers stabbing petty. Calls connected spotty. Love the sun. Mia enthused, voice distant. But miss your chill. Elena laughed taped. Chill's code for old. Months blurred montage. Weekends bridged by flights, turbulence mirroring turmoil. Turbulent skies, turbulent souls. Mia's residency soared, collaborations blooming. Elena tagging along to openings. Feeling ancillary, gray in the kaleidoscope. One gallery night, chandeliers dripping crystal. A curator flirted overt with Mia. Hand on arm, laugh throaty. Elena excused to powder room, mirror reflecting cracks. Lines deepened, eyes shadowed. Enough, she whispered to reflection, lipstick trembling application. Confrontation brewed poolside, hotel in Palm Springs, water azure lap, sun-baking lounge chairs. You're drifting, Elena said, voice low over margarita slurp. Mia set glass down, condensation pooling, eyes guarded. Drifting? You're anchoring from afar. Argument escalated, voices rising over lounge music. I gave up tenure paths. Gave up dreams. Splashes from diverse punctuated barbs, final straw Mia's admission. I need space to breathe. It's suffocating. Elena recoiled, chair scraping tile harsh. Suffocating? 20 years and I'm the noose. Stormed out, cab ride blurring tears, hotel room sanctuary locked. Days pass, radio silent. Elena wandering Venice boardwalk. Ocean mocking vastness. Skaters whirring past carefree. Sophia's text lifeline. Love hurts hardest when true. Fight ugly. Elena booked return flight. Resolve stealing. Airport arrival, Mia waiting gate. Face drawn, sign scrawled. Tear the distance? Elena dropped bag, collapse into embrace. Sobs mutual, announcements droning indifferent. Homeward bound, plain banking clouds, words poured mid-flight. I can't be your shadow, Elena confessed. Hand in Mia's, oxygen mask pendants dangling. Mia squeezed, tears tracking. Don't want shadow. Want partner. Equals. Turbulence jostled but clarity settled. Changes seismic. Elena quitting adjuncts for writing. Mia committing coasts biannual. Build bridges, not cages, Mia vowed, kiss ceiling at cruising altitude. Spring bloom tentative, Brooklyn greening tentative. Elena's manuscript took shape. Memoir of midlife ignition, pages typed feverish, coffee rings staining drafts. Mia's visits frequent, suitcases lighter, sketches co-authored now, joint exhibit planned, gaps bridged. Panels collaborative, colors merged. Sophia mediated. Family dinners thawing to acceptance. Toasts to found families. Summer solstice, Central Park picnic. Blanket spread under ancient oak. Basket brimming strawberries tart. Prosecco popping fizz. 1 year, Mia marked. Leaning into Elena's shoulder, sun dappling leaves. From protest to this. Elena traced Mia's wrist tattoo. Heartstone etched, voice soft. Worth every tear. Laughter mingled with birdsong, bodies shifting close. Kiss lingering lazy, world fading benevolent. But true test falls equinox, Mia's big break. Graphic novel adaptation, Hollywood buzz. Script reads in sunlit lofts, Elena line editing margins, input valued. Premiere night, theater velvet hush, screen igniting their story. Animated arcs, voices echoing emotions raw. Credits rolled, applause thundering. Mia's hand clammy in Elena's, tears mutual. After-party swirl, flashes popping but they slipped away. Cab to rooftop bar. City sprawl below like conquered map. Future. Mia asked, skyline twinkling promise, wind tousling curls. Elena smiled, lines crinkling, eyes wise. Hours. Written daily. Dance slow under stars, bodies synced effortless. Age gap mere footnote to epic. Distance torn not by force but choice. Bridges built sturdy, walks mutual. Years folded accordion. Elena's book published, tour cities hand in hand. Mia's series renewed, cameos queer icons. Sophia's kids, twin boys, towhead terrors called Elena Nana. Mia anti-sketch, holidays chaotic joy. Wrinkles shared, adventures tempered but tender. Tuscany villas, wine velvet tongue. Iceland auroras, greens dancing night skies. Decades mark, vow renewal under that Brooklyn oak. Now gnarled sentinel. Rings simple gold engraved tore away. Guests intimate, Sophia officiating, voice cracking pride. Vows exchanged, sun slanting golden. 20 years wiser, still tearing distances, Mia pledged. Elena's turn, hand steady. Protested once. Now embrace eternal.